No one cared about Belal Muhammad's first title defense. Until now, because that fight just blew the doors off a much bigger storyline. Sadly, but potential mega fight of the century in the form of Makhachev versus Arturo is gone for the foreseeable future. That collision course just got derailed by Della Maddalena, and now we've got a new super fight on the horizon. I can already hear them, the echo of the Dagestani meat riders who knows nothing about this sport, thinking this is an easy ride for Islam.
Islam Makhachev submits Dober.
There's a big left-handed thing.
The throne remains in Mahaskala.
But you need to think again, because it's not Volkanovski moving up. This is a welterweight storm crashing down.
11 in a row for Jack Della Maddalena. 11 in a row for Jack Della Maddalena. 17 for Jack Della Maddalena.
So before you assume Makhachev's just gonna maul another striker, watch this video and think again, because this is 5 reasons why Jack Della Maddalena will dominate Islam Makhachev. Number 1. Chance for a small guy.
Why Islam have to give 3 times chance for 145 champion? Why? It's not fair for 155. If he move up and he beat somebody like Charles Oliveira, of course. And I think, you know what I think?
Yeah.
I think he can beat him.
Yeah.
I think he can beat him.
The history kinda repeats itself. Recently, Volkanovski was the undersized king marching into enemy territory. It was Alex who came as the champ of 145ers and gave Islam the toughest fight of his career. But now, the roles are reversed, because now it's Islam who's moving up. It's Islam walking into someone else's weight class. Now it's Islam who has to prove his skills, translate beyond the comfort of the lightweight division. And standing in front of him, a sniper, a surgeon, a killer. The Australian is built for violence. He's a structured, well-rounded problem. Footwork, feints, traps, precision and power, all delivered in a package too big, too fast, and too clean for a lightweight to handle. Islam's not used to this. The Dagestani used to backing opponents up, crowding and pressuring them into panic takedowns or sloppy exchanges. But Jack is different. He doesn't panic. He steps in and fires. As Islam once said,
"It's not possible, because I am the champion and we fight 155. This is not his area. This is other power, other division. I'm gonna beat him easy."
Islam's going to find out real quick that this division doesn't care who you beat at 155, just as it was with Volkanovski and his 4 title defenses prior to their first fight. Because here you get hit harder, and more importantly, you get hit first. Number 2, not just a striker. Let me be real with you. When they announced Jack versus Belal, I laughed. I said, no way this Aussie, who got out-wrestled by no-name Hafez and was ragdolled by Burns for 3 rounds straight stuffing those takedowns. I rubbed my hands together like a little Dagestani meat rider preparing to call me stupid and tell that Islam is unbeatable. I was already thinking about Makhachev versus Topuria. I was sure that Belal, who out-wrestled Burns and gave no chance to Brady, will maul this striker from Perth. And what did Jack actually do? He made me eat my words. He didn't just defended Belal's takedowns, he erased them as a factor. Muhammad, the same guy who dominated Leon Edwards and had 12 minutes of control time, couldn't even hold Jack down long enough to tweet about it. He tried to chain wrestle, he tried to wall and stall, but Jack just ignored it. He imposed his game. He made Belal look like he downloaded 1 round of Habib wrestling in poor Wi-Fi and was trying to buffer the rest mid-fight. And that tells us something crucial. Jack is not just a striker. He doesn't just have wrestling defense. Looks like our Aussie mate has anti-wrestler software running live, round by round. And I believe that Islam is going to face the same firewall. He couldn't out-wrestle Alex, and laying behind his back, praying for the end of the round was the best wrestling exchange for Islam in the whole 25 minutes. What do you think will happen? when he'll face bigger and stronger Maddalena? That's a rhetorical question. He's not just going to eat jabs and check hooks while trying to impose wrestling. He's going to start doubting the shot itself, wondering if it's even worth trying. Because every failed takedown means another second standing with a man who throws precision like poetry and power like a goddamn truck.
Islam's already tweeted at you a few times, and like the most recent one, he says, "You're not Volk. I'll show you there are different levels. Keep my belt clean." Do you have any response to Islam?
No, come get it. Come get it.
Number 3. Pressuring technician. Islam thrives on chaos. He wants you desperate. He wants you guessing. And I have to admit, he's hella good in that. But Maddalena is doing it better. His style isn't about patience. It's about relentless, unstoppable forward motion. He won't give Islam time to think and attempt to impose his will. He'll march forward, force the clinch, rip to the body and drown him in volume. But Jack doesn't just have striking, he has timing. Every jab, every hook, every body shot is placed with GPS accuracy. And that's something Islam hasn't seen since, well, maybe Volk? And even then, Jack's bigger, stronger, and frankly, hits way harder. Where other welterweights swing wild, Jack flows like poetry in motion. He'll dig the liver, rip upstairs, step off, then catch you mid-recoil with a hook you never saw coming. Islam's defense is tight, but it's not untouchable. Volk touched him. Dustin touched him. Hell, even 22-year-old Arman Tsarukyan gave him issues. This isn't just about striking versus grappling. It's about control. And Jack doesn't give it up easy. He fights with ice in his veins and a pocket full of hellfire.
There's some scary people in this division, but I'm the scariest.
Number 4. The Aussie doesn't break. Jack Della Maddalena has been tested, and as we all know, pressure makes diamonds. His career started with 2 straight losses, 2 L's, right out the gate. Most fighters would quit, but Maddalena didn't fold.
Obviously, just hard. Obviously, losing is it's a terrible feeling, you know. Really like a deepening, depressing feeling. So, and then to get that twice in a row was tough. So I remember that, and I remember the lessons learned, and I remember the feelings like in those fights. So, but yeah, I guess that I really credit those 2 losses to where I am now.
He went on to win 18 straight fights, most of them in violent fashion, most of them with pressure, composure, and that same relentless Aussie grit. You want to see him at his worst? Look at the Basel Hafez fight. No hype, no name, just raw, unscouted pressure and a plan to drag Jack into the deep waters with grappling. And guess what? It worked, at least up until a certain moment. Maddalena stayed calm, and the second that Hafez slowed down, the second that window opened, Jack took over. But that wasn't even the scariest test. No, the real storm came in the name of veteran Gilbert Burns. For 2 rounds, Burns made Jack look like a newcomer who's making his MMA debut. Takedown after takedown, control time that felt like a hostage situation, because Maddalena snapped his arm early in the fight. But again, did he break? You know the answer. He kept looking, waiting. And then, that knee. At first I said, lucky shot. But after analyzing the footage of Jack's entire career, I realized something that should terrify Islam fans more than a long flight to Australia. That knee is a signature. Jack throws that knee like a trap. He doesn't just get up from grappling exchanges. He gets up with intent. He knows you're going to shoot again. And when he rises, boom, that knee slices through like a guillotine made of bone. Jack's never just surviving. He's looking for a way to end you, even from underneath. Number 5. Hungry Lion. Let's not forget where Della Maddalena comes from. He's not some highlight reel padded record guy like some other dudes. I won't point fingers at them. He's had close calls, he's taken blood, he's fought through adversity. And most of all, he's leveled up every damn time. This guy is not afraid of the moment. He's not mentally broken by all the Allah blessings in his DMs. He just got his title and he's focused and hungry as he never was. And he's got the kind of composure that makes championship rounds feel like sparring day. Islam is a great athlete and great former champion, no doubt about it. But the hunger, the urgency, it's fading. Latest news shows that Islam wants no smoke. And I'm not downplaying Jack, don't get me wrong. But didn't Islam say this?
For me, no matter who can make 155, just step to the cage and stay in front of me. I like this belt. It's not my job. If somebody wants this belt, come to the cage.
There's all these opponents, they all say they want to finish me in the first or second round. I already said, if you can make 155, you can get into the cage. Let's talk about it then.
Ilia was ready to make 155, step into the octagon and try to take his belt, and that was the only fight that made sense for Islam. Because he got no damage in his last fight that happened in January of this year, and Maddalena just got his title and probably won't be available until October or even later. All the top 5 except Sarukyan already had their shots, and not even once. You bigots that are disgracing the sport were foaming at the mouth, trying to prove to everyone that El Matador would be an easy walk for Islam, right? So what exactly stopped Islam from stepping up, finishing him, and then starting his camp for Jack? Considering the fact that Ilia would be an easy walk for him, Islam had more than enough time to prepare for both fights, calmly and methodically. But instead, he tucked his tail between his legs and ran, because he knew that it won't be an easy fight. That's exactly why he was forced to vacate the belt. You're probably thinking now, oh, then Ilia also ran away from Volk, Movsar and Diego? Wrong. With all due respect to Volk, Movsar and Diego, El Matador chose the hardest path possible and preferred to fight pound for pound king, who's the bigger threat than all the contenders in 145. Islam, on the other hand, most likely saw the fight with Topuria as too risky, and in his mind, he chose the easier path, one that he thought would bring even more rewards, a fight with Jack. But that choice will be the biggest mistake of his career. The Australian has yet to taste the gifts of a champion's life. He hasn't been softened by power, media, or fan adoration. He's still dangerous and probably even more obsessed in the face of such a big challenge. And after a dominant performance against Bilal, a fight I personally thought he had no shot in, I can say with full confidence, Jack wins the mental edge. And when those two step into the octagon, only one of them's going to look like he need that win like oxygen. Spoiler, it ain't the guy with the Dagestani fan club. So, what do you think? Will Jack be able to stop the Dagestani juggernaut? Or will Islam be able to continue his victorious march in another division? Definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comments.